Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining my talk, my session today. I hope you had a great conference so far. I'm Wei Wei Hu. I manage the Big Data Analytics and Insights team at the Technology Innovation Organization at HP. We support HP's print business across multiple teams, including print home, office, services, supplies, go-to-market, finance, and forecasting. We leverage printer telemetry data, customer and market data to really help those teams make better strategic decisions, providing actionable insights. So today, and that really matters because when the insights get to the right people at the right time, you can expect they move faster, they act smarter, and also they deliver results that actually impact the business outcomes and eventually turn that into return on investment. So today I'm going to show you how it actually looks like in practice, how we build GenIT, which we call it the Generative Insights Tool, and how it's changing the way we deliver analytics and insights for executive reporting. It is not just another cool AI use case or demo, but it's actually a solution to a very real business problem that our teams, as well as many other enterprise teams, have been dealing with on a regular basis. So this is how I'm going to spend the next couple of minutes with you. I'll start with the business question, what is not really working well and why. And then I'm going to talk about how we shifted from static reporting to dynamic generative insights. I'm going to walk through how how GenIT actually works and how we leverage Databricks to make it work, and the methods and the approach behind it. And you will see a quick demo. I'm going to talk about also some of the guardrails, including how we make sure it's not just data available and accessible, but also it's safe and reliable for our users. So, and finally, what is next? How we are going to scale this tool from just a POC to an intelligence offering that is going to work for our enterprise teams and organizations. Okay, so let's start with a very basic question. Why do we even need GenIT? At HP, we already have pretty mature data platforms and pipelines. We have several enterprise BI tools. We have self-serve dashboards and reports, etc. All of this already exists. But something is not always looking right, because our insights won't really reach our stakeholders and senior leadership fast and accurate enough. When insights are late, it's usually always the case that they're quickly going to become irrelevant, because the business team really need to take actions in real time. They have to make calls, and before even the reports or analysis were put on their table. So at that moment, which is really make the insights irrelevant. And on the other hand, we have so many executive level reports, that self-serve dashboards. They were overwhelmed by the number and the volume of them. And they were all very well designed with comprehensive charts and tables. But at the end of the day, none of them really answer their specific question. So you can see that's really the challenge here, and it's very risky, because it can create delays, it can create confusion, frustration, and even a loss of patience. At the end of the day, if we don't do it right over time, it may lose the confidence in data and the insights, our teams, and the insights we deliver. I really like how Thomas Davenport puts this. He basically said real-time analytics isn't just a buzzword. It's actually a competitive necessity. And delayed insights is often irrelevant insights. So for us, like GenIT is really the way we bridge this gap to really reduce a lagged and reporting and bring more actionable insights into the moment when it can actually make a difference. So I wanted to give a more concrete picture of where we actually started. So every month, our teams are going to create a more than 100-page slide deck for our executive reporting. It sounds really crazy, but it is what we have done. It contains all the key business performance metrics filled with tables, market trends, and on top of that, we also manually provide executive level narratives, basically telling the senior print leadership of what something happened and why something happened. So all of that took more than 40 hours per month for our analysts to prepare. And by the time it actually arrives at the print leadership desk, new questions already will fly into us. For example, they will come to us and ask, okay, what is really the print usage look like in, let's say, North America? Why the print usage keeps growing while the sales are actually declining? And also, how do we explain, for some reasons, it actually beats the outlook, but for the other reason, it's behind. So as you can see, in many of these cases, the report itself, although it's 120 pages, it doesn't really answer all of these questions. In those cases, our analysts have to go back and to do additional deep dive and even pull more data in order to answer those questions well. So in a world where in our printer world, right, the market dynamics actually shift very quickly. Our business needs to move and respond to the market at the same speed. But our reporting process couldn't really keep it up. It was slow, high effort, and inefficient. So we realized this was really not sustainable. And that is really the moment we think GenIT is not really something nice to have. It is a solution we must implement. So what did it actually change with GenIT? First, we really stopped thinking about reporting as a static data deliverable. Instead, we started to treat it more like it's something that should evolve as the business evolves. It needs to be live, it needs to be interactive, and it also needs to be iterative. With GenIT, we really moved from like pushing the static decks into enabling conversations with data. Anyone can ask a simple business question and get a curated answer back to them immediately. So this means our analysts will no longer need to spend a lot of their time doing repetitive data pulls and one-off fire drills or ad hoc analysis. Our business leaders can get clarity on their questions when they need it. And also the data insights become something that the business can easily access. So this shift from very static and lagging reporting delivery to real-time interaction of the insights is really the foundation of everything we develop. So now with GenIT, right, what is really the benefit? How the business is actually, what is the business value it generates? So with GenIT, we previously spent more than 40 hours a month to put reporting together, plus the executive narratives. Now with this tool, the narrative generation really happens within a minute. So overall reporting turnaround time has significantly reduced. Our analyst effort is also down. The volume of ad hoc requests and deep dive, that type of fire drills, dropped by more than 15%. Because the responses now are grounded and available and are consistent and data aware. And our overall business intelligence efficiency has improved more than 30% for teams and business users that adopt GenIT consistently. And most important, we're seeing better decisions. Our analysts are now focusing more of their time answering more strategic questions. And more business stakeholders are really engaging with the data directly rather than coming to us to ask us to provide an answer. So this is what happens when data insights becomes more accessible to people. And it becomes really a shared language between platform data teams and leadership and business teams. So this all sounds very nice. But we all know that nothing like this happens overnight. We started with, even before Databricks Genie was made available to our HP environment, we already started with experimenting. We started with a simple text to SQL proof of concept, but it broke very fast. And then we added robust testing, pushing really weird prompts, testing edge cases and business lingo. And it really helped us understand where things fail and also why. So from, I don't know what happened. So we also, later on, we added RAG and few shot prompting to give the model more structure and the context. And we implemented agent framework, which help us classify the intent, scope the data, and shape the LLM prompts. Then we really started to see things started to improve and work better for us. We also, at the same time, we collaborated with Databricks to host some of the in-person GenAI trainings and workshops. It really helped us evolve issues from experimentation to architecture. And earlier this year, we did a soft launch of GenIT for our ELT reporting. So the journey, as you can see, is not very smooth, definitely. It's iterative, sometimes it's messy. But overall, it's a deep collaboration across multiple HP teams globally, including US, India, Europe, and as well as with our Databricks teams. So that is how our solutions are built and what got us here. I want to talk a little bit about how Databricks make this possible for us and why it really matters. For us, we really didn't want just a POC that cannot scale or work in production. At the same time, we also didn't want a very big scalable solution with all kinds of features, capabilities, but it really didn't work for our data, and so that no one actually trusts enough to use it. So what we actually need is a couple of things. First is speed to test and iteration. We want visibility into cost control and usage control. We also want strong governance layer for our enterprise users. And with Databricks actually provide all of that for us. For example, it gives us like a unified workspace where all of our data models and prompts can be stored in one place. And then we integrated service principles early on so that we can track the compute usage by prompt types and optimize when needed. We also tested different LLM models ranging from Llama, Claude to GPT, and choose the model that actually worked the best for our specific situation. We also use Mosaic AI to fine-tune the model to our specific language and business context. So, and many more. Databricks isn't just our infrastructure. It's both our development, test, as well as governance layer, so that it really allows GenIT to run at scale. So let me maybe talk a little bit about how GenIT really works. So a user can ask a very simple question. For example, what is the printer usage look like in North America this quarter? The planning agent will first figure out the intent. Is it a trend? Is it a comparison? Or is it a root cause analysis? Then a worker agent will scope the right data source and filter the data by the dimensions, for instance, the time frame, the printer product family, the market, the region, the country, you name it. And once it's done, it prepares the clean contextual input and pass that to the LLM model. The model then generates a response, and the user sees the result, and as well as the logic behind it. So everything can be traced back, all the way back to the source, SQL, as well as the data source that got being used. So the users can further refine their questions if they want to, and the model will just iterate from there. So from at the back end, our teams, basically, our developers control the quality. We are able to reduce the model drift and to ensure full traceability of the results. And all of these happen in almost real time. So let's maybe take a look at how GenIT works in action. I would like to show you a quick demo just to give you a flavor of what it looks and feels. Okay, so I'm going to click. Hope it works. Okay, so we start with GenIT as this is the home page. It's a very simple layout. We don't want to make it super fancy or complex. You will see the current model version, and then how you can also access the data dictionary. You can click to show the suggested prompts that we have curated for all the users, and you can also see our future roadmap. So you can actually, I'll just wait for the demo. So if you actually go ahead, if you click like the data dictionary, it's where we have put all the data fields and key business metrics, and with the definition there. It really helps the users to write very precise, relevant prompts, and it also kind of reduces the potential misinterpretation of the data. Yeah, so you can see we have listed all the different fields, including the unique values. So that all kind of potentially reduce misinterpretation. And now you can actually go to the suggested prompts. So these are, as I said, is curated list of examples to really help our users get started. So for this demo, because I'm going to quickly show you one prompt, which is, for instance, so one thing I want to call out is suggested prompts, and user can also have a way to save their prompts once they execute it. It will show up at the top of it. If you click any of those, the tool will automatically execute it and run and to generate the response for you. So for instance, we try this prompt, what is the worldwide share after market share look like in Q3 to FY25? You can see it generates a very quick response. Because of the sensitivity of the information, we redacted and anonymized all the results for demo purposes. And then you can also ask a follow-up question. And then the tool will be able to learn from the previous results and be able to iterate and generate a follow-up result. And maybe I'll quickly show another example here. So for instance, it says, what is the market share for ink in Greater Asia in Q2 last year? It basically shows market share is this. And then you can also ask a follow-up question is, okay, we know share, but what about usage look like, printer usage look like? And also you can see what is really the change from quarter to quarter. And then it will not only generate the response, it will show each quarter and show the comparison also with a simple summary of what summarization of what it looks like. And then you can move to a different metric, maybe from share to printer usage, and it will show similar results. And then you can further split the data by, say, what if I wanted to look at the results by developed versus emerging markets? And then the model will continue to iterate and generate the response for you. Yeah, okay, I think that's pretty much all I have for now. So let's talk a little bit about governance and trust, because for this type of tool that is going to work for performance measurement as well as strategy and business decisions, precision and accuracy is extremely important. So how do we guarantee that? For every prompt that we make it go through a pre-processing process, including planning and filtering. So if a prompt is very vague, we'll stop it right away. If it contains sensitive information, for instance, the PII data, we'll automatically redact it. We use name entity recognition, regex, and rule-based filtering to sanitize the content before it hits the large language model. We also log every interaction into the Databricks Unity catalog, So it gives us full traceability down to the SQL logic and the source data it's got, and the model input. We build also thumbs up, thumbs down feedback loop so user can actually flag an unclear response. It will send back to our backend, and so that we can continue to iterate and improve the prompt quality over time. Our team also closely monitor and adjust the system on a regular basis, because getting the results and answers that users can trust is an ongoing commitment that we wanted to make. So this is how we actually make GenIT safe, responsible, and also ready for production deployment. So in short, I wanted to maybe talk a little bit about how GenIT, what is our plan for GenIT. So we just get started, and I think we're far from call it a success or say we're ready. Right now, we are actually evaluating a few different models. For instance, Claude 3.7, Llama 4. These are models that are faster, more cost efficient, and more accurate. We are also working to continue to work with Mosaic AI, fine-tuning the model to better align with HP's specific language so that our users can get clarity and reduce potential friction. We wanted to embed further visualizations in addition to just provide text-based results. This includes charts and tables, all inside the same tool. So we don't want users to ask a question and go to another tool and to get the visualization. It's all happened in one place. In addition, we wanted to add role-based access and SSO personalization and in-chat feedback. This means like we're going to provide users more relevant answers that suitable for their role and their responsibilities. There's going to be fewer clicks and hopefully better adoption. We wanted to expand to other data types. Right now, it's very structured data that we're using to train the model. We wanted to go further into multi-modal data, for instance, including customer feedback, calls, and even processing images. So also expanding the capability to allow not just reporting, but also pattern recognition, quality monitoring, as well as going into prediction, forecasting, and scenario planning. So the future of GenIT is really not just a reporting automation tool. It is building a conversation layer of enterprise business intelligence. So anyone can ask a simple question, get a trusted insight into their questions in real time. Okay, so before I wrap up, I wanted to share some of the key takeaways. GenIT is really not just how we wanted to just automate our reporting process or speed up things faster. It actually changed the way we think about analytics and insights and how we wanted to deliver it to our business users and customers. We built on trusted data, we governed our pipelines, and we implemented RAG and agentic framework. We also scaled it with Databricks, not just to host our data and our models, because we wanted everything to run end-to-end and be able to scale it into production. Our process and Databricks really allow us to build all of these end-to-end process with confidence. We went really from static reporting decks, slides, and self-serve dashboards to proactively enabling real-time answers to our stakeholders and senior executives. We made this tool safe and usable and fast. And most of all, we made it actually something that the business user would like to use. It helps them to make quick and better decisions. So I wanted to close with a kind of a key learning through all of this process. So insights are really accurate and actionable and easy to use will get adopted. And when that happens, the key business decision as well as strategy becomes execution. So I wanted to just stop here. And thank you so much for coming and listening to my talk.